Started?
Hey guys, sorry we're late. We had dinner a little bit late. Thought the meat was thawing out, and it was not, so we got started a little late. I didn't even get to shower. I got hay on my hair still, so it is what it is.
Well, how am I going to sit in there, honey?
This is all about me tonight, okay?
Okay. I'm going to bed.
Yeah,
I've got
right.
something in my beard.
Join the club. It's wear something in your hair tonight. Oh, I guess, well, I don't want to sit in this chair. It's not comfortable. I'll move.
Well, you're smaller than me.
Oh,
Levi, come here.
I need a drink. Hey, guys.
My hair's getting long, so I'm wearing a comb over.
Please don't. Oh, my God.
I need to go get a haircut. Finish the sloppy goes for your brothers.
Stop. That's so weird. Will you bring me something to drink? Because I didn't get to get that done either.
Angelica with Homestead with the Laws is in here. Hey, I did a 3-minute short with your calf in there that you named.
I'm gonna go help him really quick. I'll be right back.
Shayla's still finishing,
Supper.
trying to get the kids something to eat. I just ate hamburger meat right out of the skillet while Shayla was something shiny in my beard. While Shayla was cooking it.
We could have done it like the Junos and filmed while we were cooking.
I've got like a piece of tape or something in my beard. I keep seeing it shine in the camera. But yeah, I did a short with the calves in it. They're doing good. Laverne, the Dexter calf, is way smaller than Wilma. Old Wilma. So the Angus cross is growing much faster than the Dexter Wagyu, which would be expected. But they're she named the Dexter Wagyu.
Yeah.
And she's doing good. She's just grows a lot smaller than the other one. The other one's like probably double her size, or no, maybe a solid third bigger. Rural 2IC, and I can't remember his name. There's like a joke. There's an inside joke. I guess he doesn't give out his real name or something. So everybody's always in on an inside joke on that or something. 3D's Adventures. Thanks for coming in. Oh, I forgot. They don't do any videos, so. He was supposed to have a bunch of videos. They went outside and they survived outside on the pasture for like a week. They had a camp out there on the pasture, and they were living out there. Some of those nights were pretty cold, probably like, I don't know. It was probably getting down into the 40s, wasn't it? And they were sleeping out there and they were doing it, but I guess we got to get them better equipment, but we got to get ourselves better recording equipment. Yeah, they call him Jeff. Rural 2IC. Jeff with Rural 2IC. The goats, Angelica, the goats they're doing pretty good right now. I mean, every one of them out there seems to be pretty healthy, with the exception of maybe one. Except Betty, the one that we were trying to save. It was too cold outside. We just can't keep them inside forever. So we had to take her back outside, and I tried to keep her in the shop by the fireplace, but we had some nights that got down to like 10 degrees. So
We even woke up in the middle of the night to put firewood.
yeah, I went out there after midnight and put firewood on. Shayla was doing Amazon deliveries and putting firewood on, and she just got too cold ultimately. But the thing is with our goats is we're going for hardiness. So either we would have had to made an exception to keep her and keep her as a dairy goat and just say, well, I guess it is what it is. We're going to get dairy from her. Or we would have had to get rid of her because we can't keep inferior genetics. Like, we need goats that are tough, and the vast majority of our goats are pretty tough. Hendrickson Family Farm, thanks for coming in. Mitchell and Nina. I'm terrible at remembering names. Shayla had to remind me. She's over there cooking food for the kids right now. But yeah, overall though, the goats are doing good. Which, by the way, did you look at which minerals they were going through on their buffet, Shayla?
No, I did not.
Selenium, iron. They're devouring iron, which is strange because
I did not fill the iron, so they're not.
Oh, I was about to say they're going through iron.
No, I never filled that one.
Boron was one of the main ones. Selenium. I forgot. I looked at the minerals earlier, and Shayla's got a buffet mineral feeder. And if you're into goats or even cattle, sheep, goats, sheep, any of those things, Shayla's actually selling kits for buffet style feeders. But they're definitely hitting it. I seen a lot of tracks going inside the feeder, and I seen selenium was definitely one of the most popular, and copper surprisingly is barely touched, but I guess not so surprising because we did copper bolus our goats not that long, a few months ago, and they should be fine on copper. So selenium's one of the main. The vitamin A. Vitamin A, D, and E is almost out. So vitamin A, D, and E is very popular.
That's one of the most important for the pregnancy too.
And they're all heavy bred right now, and vitamin A, D, and E is very important for them right now. So hopefully they're getting acquainted with the buffet feeder again. Hello, Beverly. You gonna get over here and eat on camera, Shayla?
Yeah, in a minute.
But I just commented on one of y'all's most recent shorts, Angelica, because I hadn't seen you guys go live. I just haven't been getting notifications for your channel, so I was kind of concerned. I wanted to make sure everything was going good, so I just typed in Homestead with the Laws and went over there and watched your last short of putting the deck in the cabin and commented on there. I don't know why I haven't been getting the notifications. Usually I do. It's like 45 degrees outside here right now. It's going to be within 24 hours. It's going to be dropping down into the teens. So we're not really looking forward to that, but we are somewhat prepared. We spent all day getting prepared. Shayla went and got some square bales for bedding and for some hay. So we put bedding in all the pig pens and huts and put some bedding down for goats, and fed hay for cows. And so we're somewhat prepared. It's hard to say you're prepared when it's going to get down to 2 degrees.
Who's in here? Levi. Mom's on the phone with Vanessa and Caleb, I think.
Weather's been slowing them down. So we haven't been posting a lot of videos, and I would say one of the main factors with that is just winter is a lot of work on a homestead. And I guess it would, to the same note, it'd be good content, but I'm not, it's hard to keep up between work and being outside. Just
Well, it's really hard because it's so rushed. Like especially here in Oklahoma, there's so much wind and
Well, like we didn't even know it was going to snow 2 inches the other night.
Yeah.
It just did it.
Saturday was supposed to be warm and it was freezing cold. And I was going to go get hay Saturday. It was freezing, so I went and got it today. Thankfully, it was pretty warm, but it was just windy. Which also doesn't help with camera either. It's so annoying to film when it's windy because then you guys get all that muffle in the background. So
Could just use a microphone.
I've already tried that with the fuzzy thing. I don't know. Maybe I don't got the right one. Someone needs to tell me.
It works. It just makes you really, really, really loud, and then you don't hear anything else going on in the video, and it's just like it's almost like a voiceover the way it sounds. So then it's kind of awkward. But maybe that's just the way we see it.
I don't mind the voiceovers.
But how has it been for other people weather-wise? I mean, we've had days where it was supposed to be 58 degrees and warming up, and things are supposed to be on the up, and then it's just cloudy and dreary, and wind is just blowing, so it feels like 20. I've got Avid in here, and if you guys don't know who Avid Fisherman is, he is a connoisseur of barbecue and Jesus Christ. He's always doing Bible talks and Bible trivia and stuff like that. So I like to pop in and participate in that every now and then whenever I catch him on live. It's definitely colder where you're at than for us because right now it's pretty modest. But it's going to change really quick. It actually got
crazy.
The wind actually laid down this evening, and although it was 43 degrees, it felt great because on our 55-degree days, it's been so windy. It's just been, it might as well have been 20 outside.
Go figure. When I go in the house, every time.
No.
We did get our big sow in pen with our boar. I don't think she's in heat yet, but he was chasing her a little bit, and
she isn't trying to kill him. So
no, I think pigs are a little bit. I mean, I think every animal is kind of like induced can have induced heat. I know, like dogs, if you have two females in the same pen, even though their heat cycles are not the same, they will go in heat at the same time sometimes. And not all dogs, but I think if we have them together, it'll kind of push her into heat. And I haven't seen her in heat since we got her. I mean, I haven't noticed.
The smallest one, the runt that we may end up butchering or selling if she doesn't start gaining weight faster. She was definitely in heat.
Yeah. I think she's in heat again.
She needs to put on weight instead of going into heat every 5 days.
And now that we moved that white sow out of the way, I'm hoping that they'll start gaining a little more too. So
feeding them a lot of feed though.
Yeah, the white one looks great. She's gained a lot of weight. She looks healthy. Did we deworm them twice?
Yeah, I put wormer in their water too.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, I got a microscope. I'm really excited about that because that's going to help with all our fecal samples, and I can go run a fecal on her check. I've been wanting one for a long time, so I've been doing all these Amazon blocks to get our extra stuff.
Mitchell accidentally paused it.
Oh.
Avid said LMC Homegrown. Is that a new one? Or you know them?
I have no idea.
LMC Homegrown. Thanks for coming in here.
Yep. Skunks mating
season. Yeah, they always this time of year. Them and raccoons are just ran over everywhere. It's definitely raccoon breeding season, and
coyote.
And I've just been so busy. I've got a bunch of irons in the fire.
That's an understatement at this point.
What I wanted to be doing at this point was doing more trapping with the boys, which the weather I keep thinking I'm going to do it, but the weather's either raining or it's ridiculously cold, which does not lend itself to trapping. What are you doing? It doesn't lend itself to trapping very well when the ground is literally freezing. I'm not from up north, so I don't trap in that. My whole life, if it's got down below 25 degrees, typically I just count that as a loss of a trapping day because things freeze up, and I don't buy the antifreeze dirt and all that crazy stuff. So it's just been either raining, which you can't find any dry dirt, or frozen. So hopefully next week it's in the 60s. I'll go set the traps with the boys again, and maybe
Jack,
we'll do some good.
Were you trying to catch them? What do you do with skunks?
Getting them out of his chicken coop.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Is it higher fall the smell? Were you trying to trap them for the coop, or you trap them for other reasons?
You know,
turn that off right now. It's too loud.
It's decent money trapping skunks for the essence. Actually, it's like $20 to $30 an ounce for the essence, and I think a couple of skunks will probably get you about an ounce.
Is it? Don't they pay?
Hey, let Shayla tell you the story about the time that she wanted to skin a skunk.
How about we not? If only we had YouTube back in the day. That one might have went viral.
LMC. He said, JS Genesis Designs, you guys above zero? Yeah, it's 40-something degrees here, Fahrenheit.
I think he's asking rural.
Oh.
Thank you.
Yeah, keeping them, Jack Dyer, keeping them away from chickens. Look, and then LMC Homegrown said, look for deer, good meat. If I know a deer is fresh, I will not hesitate to at least take the back straps off of it on the side of the road.
I was about to show him this ground meat, but I actually ate cow tonight. We've been eating ground deer.
I think the deer meat tastes better than the beef, to be honest. I don't know. The beef was pretty good too. It's got a more stout flavor. Beef's got more flavor than deer. Imagine that.
Double digits below zero for weeks. Nope. I'm out.
So where are you from? Are you from Canada or Alaska or? That sounds like.
Oh, don't tell me that.
Sounds like Russian weather. Yeah, Mitchell, I figured as much. As warm as it got and the wind stopped for a while this evening, I figured that the temperature was fixing to start dropping. Yeah, LMC, it is, well, the way I do my deer meat is typically I grind it myself, but this year we harvested so many deer so quickly. I mean, I don't know what the total was, 8 or 9.
8.
I only took 1, and I gave half of it away.
I took 2. Levi took 3.
Levi took 4.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Oh, go fix it.
4,
yeah, Levi took 4.
5, 6, 7.
6, 7, Ryland.
Yeah, so we took so many deer so quickly that I ended up with more deer meat than my little grinder can really handle. We took 4 in one day. So we just ended up with more deer meat than we could handle. But the way I typically do that is I'll cube up and remove all the silver skin and deer fat from my deer meat, and then I'll bring my Yeti cooler in, and I'll put like a 20-pound bag of ice in it and a little salt water. Just salt it just enough that it starts to get salty, but by the time the ice melts, it's, almost just water at that point. And then I brine my deer meat, and I may drain the water off. And if I don't have time to get to it, I may add another bag of ice about the time that one finally melts. So it could be a 2 to 3 day brine, or it could be a 6 or 7 day brine, just depending on how much time I have to get to it. And then I'll grind that at about 15 to 25% beef brisket or chuck roast. and then total fat content will be about 20%. And and I'll use beef fat. I don't use pork fat. And so you're looking at about a 20 to 30% beef to deer ratio, and it turns out absolutely delicious, better than beef.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly,
Leaner. Well,
it's not really leaner. I put as much fat in it as beef, but it cooks out leaner. The fat doesn't retain in it as much, so it's really good when you do it that way.
Angelica made deer tacos tonight. We haven't had that in a while because I've been on stupid Whole30, but we eat that about 4 nights a week.
Yeah, as soon as Shayla's off the Whole30, I'm probably gonna have her make me a bunch of deer enchiladas.
Yeah,
I like enchiladas with deer meat. Oh, so good. Shayla doesn't buy the red sauce; she makes it out. I don't know how you make it exactly, but it's just oil, and you could use tallow.
You use chili powder, tomato paste, chili powder, and a cooking oil.
You could use tallow or butter if you were like keto and trying to avoid seed oils and stuff.
LMC Homegrown said they just found us late to the party. Love this talk. Well, speaking of that, you should go check out our video from our hunt, the epic hunt video, because that was where we shot 4 deer in one day, and it was pretty cool.
And our long format videos typically ramp up in the spring when the days are longer, and we try to get some of our adventure stuff on video, which does better. Honestly, our viewers really like our fishing and our hunting stuff. Honestly, we've been tempted to not even really include our homesteading and just totally transition our channel. The homesteading is extremely saturated as far as YouTube content goes. But and honestly, we love our animals.
I think the problem
we love our animals, but we don't get them on camera enough. Like, they're not our fur babies, if that makes sense. Like, we love them, we respect our animals. We try to do what's right by our livestock. We try to do everything that we can for them and what is right, but we don't go around and make personalities for all of our animals, which I think is what really boosts a lot of the homestead channels.
Have personality. Probably that.
I mean,
and they're not kept in pens, like they're all free range.
We try to keep them running around as much as possible.
And then the other thing is, it feels so repetitive. I feel like, what am I going to do? Go show you our feed routine every single day, which a lot of people like that, and it helps you get to know the animal. But for me to do that and him, it feels so weird to do that. But
LMC said,
adventures.
Can you tell me how to preserve my deer meat? And honestly, that's one of my goals. We actually have a wild boar that we domesticated. We caught it when it was what?
Oh, I just say I want to make pemmican really bad.
But
I can do that soon.
We have a wild boar that we domesticated when it was little bitty. Our dogs caught it while we were looking for deer sheds. And the plan was I was going to try to fatten him up and get him processed. And the plan was to at least grind him up. And then I wanted to start working on making like salamis and pepperonis and practicing preservation of meat, and maybe like a country style ham with him. But he's not underweight, but he's just not as fat as I'd like to see him be for that. So I keep putting it off, but before too long, I'm going to lose the cold weather that helps me. I may just end up loading him up and taking him to the processor and just being like, just give me one ham and grind him, just because I don't have time. And we're putting another iron in the fire with a tree mulching business right now and a fence building business. And we've actually got a bid out there with a really cool guy that's into regenerative agriculture, and he might use us. He wants to use us. We're actually trying to get our LLC
informed.
finished up so that we can officially quote him. And so, if I have to take my pig in to get him done, I will. But meat preservation is at the top of my list to start practicing. One thing about that is that I don't want to do it in a tiny little chamber. Like a lot of people will use like a refrigerator where they can control temperature and humidity. But I don't want to do that. I want a root cellar, something that maintains temperature and humidity naturally by itself. I don't want a little digital controller that does it. I want to do it the old school way. And I could do a ham. Like I could salt cure a ham, and I could do that in like a cooler with just salt. Maybe if we do that, we could do it with like C90.
We do make jerky.
We could salt cure it with like C90 so it'd be impregnated with all the trace minerals at the same time. So if you're going to eat salty meat, at least you get your mineral.
Yeah. We do make jerky, and then I've been wanting to try pemmican, but I haven't had tallow for a long time. I do have some now, but I don't know. I probably would need. I probably will use most of our supply, so I probably just need to get some more. I love you.
The wild huckleberry.
I keep my deer on ice, no salt, for upwards of 10 to 15 days until the water drains clear, and it's the best as it gets. I don't think we leave ours quite that long, but
I'll probably push the 10-day thing once or twice. Yeah. As long as it stays cold. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are really freaked out about wet aging, and I'd tell you what. If our friends and neighbors and where the cows are, the elderages, they which actually, if you guys are on here or watch this, I checked your well house. I meant to text him. I'm gonna text him right now. Make sure his heater was on.
I'm alive.
But I gave them some deer meat, and he said they really enjoyed it. But and that's how I do it. I wet age it because I don't have a cooler, and if you don't have a walk-in cooler. He's but if you don't have a walk-in cooler, don't worry about wet aging. It's fine.
What's the wild huckleberry? Hello, good to see ya. Good evening. How's Betty done? She making it? Oh no, we ended up losing Betty. I need to do a video updating. I posted on Facebook. I meant to share that post on YouTube too, but I don't guess I got to it.
Where'd they ask that?
Right here. The Rower tribe.
Yeah, she did. She just couldn't keep her body temperature up. It was brutal outside for the few days she was trying to recover, and we had her by really the fireplace, but it just, I guess, wasn't enough.
I think she had a heavy load of parasites, and he had dewormed her. The worming on goats is so, you really have to do it just right, or it's not. You have to do a double or triple dose of 2 or 3 different classes of dewormers. And he gave her 2, but I think they were on separate days. And you really have to do it all at once and hard, and then do it again in 10 days. And so,
I dewormed her twice back to back. And I talked about it. I'd used 2 different dewormers, and I did it back to back. And I talked about her in a live. I said she had a miscarriage or something because of the parasites. I said she's looking really good today, and then the next day she was almost dead.
She was doing really well.
And I checked her FOMACHA. It was I compared her to like 3 other goats, and I was like, she might be a little lacking, but it looked pretty decent.
Yeah, it was just I have a mineral buffet out, and we didn't have minerals in it for probably about 6 weeks because I was trying to decide whether I wanted to spend the money on another kit myself or go get it bulk and start repackaging and selling.
And minerals will keep them from getting overloaded with parasites. If they stay sufficient on mineral, lots of times it could have been our fault a little bit. But we did the whole, bulk all stock mineral. Well, I pick an all stock that's beneficial for goats. I don't just pick any all stock, and they were eating a lot of it. It's just not enough. You have to have the buffet. You have to. It's just we couldn't afford to spend hundreds of dollars on little pound kits anymore. So, Angelica, what kind of fence that we'll be building. So actually, if you guys were closer,
Levi, come here. I'm gonna have Levi grab the brochure so we can show you what it is. It's something new. You probably never heard of it.
it's not new. Somebody in here's heard of it.
Newish.
Somebody in here's heard of it.
It's
I guarantee
newish.
it. I bet Jack's heard of it. So it's called Timeless Fence.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually like a vinyl or PVC type T-post,
PVC.
and it is actually far more durable than you would think it would be. And it's designed for hot wire, for like high tensile wire. Even some people use poly braid and different stuff with it, but it is designed so that your post is the insulator. It's pretty neat stuff, and it's growing on me. I didn't really like it at first, but the guy that we're getting into this with was really about it. But as I've learned a lot about it, there's a lot of reasons why somebody might use it, and I still have reasons why I wouldn't. But it's about the same cost as woven wire.
Yeah.
It's about the same cost as the lower end woven wire.
It's actually cheaper than the woven wire, but
it's cheaper.
It probably plays out.
If you were to buy the best woven wire out there, I personally would choose the woven wire for a perimeter fence. You can always put a high tensile around that woven wire as well. But that's just me.
And yeah.
Oh, Jack said he never heard of it. We're actually going to be having him come to the rendezvous. He's actually got a meat trailer. He bought a bunch of meat from a regenerative ranch out in Mississippi from Alan Williams. If you're into regenerative agriculture, you may know who Alan Williams is because he's probably one of the top 5 guys. He's about as big as Joel Salatin, except for he doesn't do as much of the YouTube. He doesn't really do the YouTube thing where, he's not really a talking head, like in that sense. He's a consultant, big time consultant, works with the Noble Grassland or Grazing Noble Institute of Grazing.
Jack knows what it is. I never heard of it.
Anyways, he works with the Noble Institute down there that works on grazing, grazing consulting and the best grazing practices and all that.
Yeah, the guy that we're working with is really good friends with Alan. We've actually spoken to him.
But he's going to be selling some meat from Alan Williams' ranch down there. He's got a big truck or trailer and freezers full of it. So he'll probably be bringing that along as well as Timeless Fence information. Maybe we'll make him a little display of what Timeless Fence is that we could just tote along. Like Timeless Fence has a bunch of stuff that you, as a distributor, you can buy from them as marketing materials. I was like, forget that. We could literally make like a little short piece. We could get a couple New Zealand posts and stretch like a small sample.
Oh, yeah.
Like a little 5-foot section between some New Zealands or something, and build him a little skid for it.
Yes.
Maybe we'll put a 16 or 18 joule charger on it and let people touch it.
Yeah, you're crazy. Here's the raffle. You touch it, you get entered to win a fence. That
would be kind of cool.
That would be hilarious.
Charge up an electric fence with like an 18 joule charger and say, if you touch it, you get a free ticket to win this charger.
Oh, the charger. Yeah, that would work. We should do that. There's got to be some
say it's $25 a ticket unless you touch it.
We're going to have to look into the laws on that, but I definitely think we should try.
It won't. Electric fences don't have any amperage, so they're safe. It just feels like you might die.
Let's do that. That would be hilarious. That would be such a hit at the
So let's read some
LMC said you guys are fun. Gotta go. I'll be back. Well, thank you. We appreciate that.
We'll check you out. Hopefully you got some content.
Goats are alive or dead, it seems. She didn't look bad, just low energy. Yeah. And we were giving her the red cell every day. We were giving her B12 shots. We were giving her I totally just blanked out. Electrolytes. We were tubing her. It just, where we screwed up where I screwed up is not checking her temperature as often as I should have. And I think that was the ultimate reason. And I learned, even though I knew better and I should have, I think that was it. It's very unfortunate.
Jack said, I try to never let deer sit in standing water, just ice, got to drain every day, maybe even more if it's hot out. Yeah. I let mine sit in water, and that water will turn blood red, and then I'll drain it out. It's never been a problem. As long as it stays icy cold, nothing will grow in it. I mean, after weeks, your stuff will start to go bad. But as long you use a good cooler, it stays cold. It's fine.
Huh, they use timeless.
Yeah. Yeah, fire. So whenever this guy that we're working with was trying to sell us on it, he was like, "Oh,
was the first
it's
thing he
safe
said.
in fire," and I was like, "Safe in fire? It's PVC. I've melted PVC, and I burn it in fires and stuff." But
he said they did a test.
If it's a grass fire, it'll probably stain the post and everything, but I think it would burn through it so fast that you're not going to have any issues. Now, a bunch of trees or cedars going up around it, I think you're going to have a problem. Which, I guess fire is fire, though. It's very destructive, and even like I've just burned grass near my woven wire, and just the temperature from it will burn the zinc off of it, and then it starts rusting away.
Yep.
Just from a light fire, just a grass fire. So
they did 5 to 6 strand. Patrick did his own corners, though. We're doing 5 strand on this guy's fence, and then the corners.
We're using so Greg Judy, I've watched a lot of his videos. He uses treated posts for corners and stuff. Maybe as we get into this and start doing it, and I may even consider using some here on our place to cross fence for goats. But as we start to do this, perhaps I will, like if I do it on mine, I'm not going to buy the New Zealand corners. I personally won't do it because I can save money and use a telephone pole or cedar post or something. Or maybe I may do oak post. I may have Paul Case saw me some oak post or something. But anyways, I'm not going to do the PVC or whatever corners, but and maybe if I like it that way and I come up with a really clean installation using stuff like that, I may sell that, when we do these fence jobs in the future if this takes off.
We are planning on putting it on YouTube. I have a drone. I just haven't. When I got it, the weather was raining all the time, so we haven't got out to play with it.
Justin with Oklahoma Hokey is in here. We may have to
jump like 5 comments down.
Because he came in here and he's got a DJI and he does really good drone footage.
You just can't have a pacemaker. Oh yeah, I guess we just have to make sure.
I don't know if pacemakers are as sensitive as they used to be, because used to you couldn't even be around a microwave, which
I don't think
if a microwave will mess up a pacemaker,
you're not supposed to be around a microwave, period. That's why I got rid of ours. Got to run, guys. Glad I got to catch y'all this evening. Mondays are tough. Oh, I appreciate it for coming in, Jack. Thank you.
Yeah, he uses the timeless, and I'm not sure if you were referring to the different post. But.
Good evening, folks. I'm on a cell phone, so I can't tag anyone. Stay warm the next few days, and remember, we are a day closer to spring fishing, and only 225 more days until the opening.
Yeah. Countdown to deer season again.
No, let's not count down to deer season. That means cold weather's coming, but I will take the spring.
By saying that, though, 225 days until opening day of deer season, that makes you realize that winter's almost over.
I know. I'm excited. Hey, our brown farmhouse.
Hey, we've got red carpet guests in the house. Our brown farmhouse.
Yeah.
They're definitely bigger than us.
Yeah, their channel's huge. Go check them out.
They're a pretty cool channel.
Yeah.
Went through the hurricanes and stuff.
Had another kid.
Crazy weather.
Oh gosh, I forgot about all that. Yeah. Mr. MT Homestead. And Rowdy's in here. haven't done a live in a couple weeks.
Yeah, Shayla keeps pushing them off.
Okay, I was not feeling good. My pancreas and gallbladder has been hurting. I went to the doctor, had an ultrasound done. I got a follow-up. I thought it was my heart has been acting up the last 2 years, but everybody keeps telling me it's not my heart. And my doctor said it is probably GERD. I'm like, are you
She's
freaking
just gassy.
kidding me? But I don't have heartburn, and it's so weird. I do have a lot of
the acid reflux valve gets burned by acid and starts twitching. It makes it feel like your heart's fluttering.
My heart is still doing it, and I've been on Nexium for the last 2 weeks, so I don't know. But I did an ultrasound. I go Monday to see the results of that, and then if that's not it, then I'm gonna go do another EGD. I had one of those years ago. I gotta get to the bottom of this because it feels like I'm gonna have a heart attack. And every time I go, I've been in the emergency room 3 times in the last 2 years, and
she's had like 14 heart tests, and
my heart, it feels like my heart hurts, and then my arm starts, my shoulder goes numb, my arm goes numb all the way down, my back hurts, and like, what am I supposed to do? You tell me to come back if I have these symptoms, and I do, and then you tell me it's not a heart attack.
So
I asked if we
do it.
Okay, we didn't answer. We're not.
We may pop in and walk around or something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. We're not doing a booth or anything though, not this year. But it'd be nice to walk around and actually see the people and talk instead of.
Yeah, I'd rather just go there as a spectator. Honestly, it was very I missed talking to a lot of different people the entire time because I was like, it was crazy. I was kind of borderline sick, but I think it was just stress.
Yeah, it was
the entire time.
Bad time. Not at Okie, but just life. Can't stay too long tonight. Have a great week and stay warm. That's all right. We appreciate you coming in. Thank you.
Turn off Huxton. Go turn off the sink.
Excited about the rendezvous. We'll need a hookup of logs and a tractor. Well, I think we can hook you up on the logs with Sam. We can talk to Sam about that. Well, he don't want to cut down any big trees, but
we could probably find a few.
To him.
We could probably find a few.
Or these cedars we're about to cut down.
Do I get to keep the logs? No, we could probably find at least some post oaks or something to drag down there.
Tractor. Well, if we have a trailer, we should. We're 90% sure we'll have a tractor.
I would bring my tractor down there. It may not be very good for optics.
Yeah, it needs a little.
Hey, it's a homesteading rendezvous. This isn't a tractor show.
We'll have Huxton drive it around. That'd be a show. The tractor.
Huxton can load the sawmill.
Yeah. I have had my thyroid checked. That was the first thing I thought it was, and that was the first thing they checked. It was slightly elevated. I can't remember which way, but that wasn't it. It's been wild. I've had probably 20 different tests done. It's so weird. It's such a mystery. It's been stressing me out. Not all the time, just sometimes. Natalie likes to walk around too. She gets to talk and meet people and eat that cheesecake. Oh my gosh, you had to say that. That cheesecake is so good. You cannot go to the Okie Homestead and not get that cheesecake. Chocolate covered cheesecake. And their popcorn's really good too. Hey, Jenny. How old is y'all's kid, Nico? I caught y'all's the last live I caught was right before she was about to go in. There's Gilliam. Hey, Johnny. Yes, please hit the thumbs up. Thank you, Jenny. My mom usually is bugging people about that, but she's not in here. They said you could have the lumber. He said you could have the lumber.
Then we might have to bring cedar.
Oh, he said don't bring some cedar. Hey, John, how are you? I mean, Natalie doesn't like walking around eating freeze-dried candy. Ooh. Coconut water to ease you on spring. I'm going to try that then. I like coconut water, and I have spirulina, however you say it. I can't say that on the live. It's a tongue twister. She is 3 months now. Oh, it was a girl. Diary, you know Egypt's ready to get her guests in for that candy jar. So, I guess they're going with freeze-dried candy again.
Yeah, I kind of wish I had a freeze dryer. Things are not cheap.
No, you can get them on Facebook used for decent though. But
I'll tell you what is candy is freeze dried strawberries. I used to like to dig my mom would buy the Special K cereal with the freeze dried strawberries. I'd go in there and dig all the strawberries out of it.
Gosh. You guys ready for the snowstorm? We spent all day today preparing, got hay. Like, I didn't even get to shower. It's literally still in my hair. It is what it is. We gave everybody extra hay, gave them extra feed, made sure they had plenty of water today. And there'll be lots of warm water buckets the next few days. Get your next project specs together. What are we going to build? A smoke shack. We should do our smoke shack.
Yeah, who said that?
Awesome.
Oh,
Angelica.
Hey, that if I brought enough lumber to do it,
we'd pay you for it.
Yeah, I'd pay you to do it by dimensions. Like if you were actually building, like a kit.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. We've been wanting to build a smoke shack forever. John, I
got to get a good trailer by then, though. In order to bring enough logs to do something like that, I got to have a decent trailer.
Well, we should have a decent trailer really soon. We've got to get something. We have these little tiny trailers that we can't do anything with. Hardly.
I got a 2,200-pound mulching attachment for a skid steer sitting on my little yellow trailer that I built. It hauled it just fine, and it hauled the 2 backhoes all the way from Houston.
Yeah.
Which were over 2,000 pounds too.
Yeah. It works. It's just not long. We won't have our candy here this year, but we are volunteering for that. Yeah, that's what I thought. I was wondering. I don't know what Levi's going to do if Jack's not there with his candy.
So,
digging those strawberries out. You grow that beard.
What's funny, it just gave me a flashback. I don't know why it reminded me of this.
You got your first chin hair.
No, it reminded me of this. In one of Justin's videos, he took his cousin, I think, hunting. I think it was his cousin, but he took her hunting, and he was using a hydraulic oil bucket. So he grabbed some of the ditchweed marijuana growing in the ditch and stuffed it in the bucket for scent control. And what that I don't know how I guess me sneaking around digging the strawberries out of the cereal reminded me of this. One time I was just being nosy and I was digging through the cabinets, and my dad, he had grown the herb at one time. So he had this bowl full of seeds, and I remember just being like, oh, this is crazy. This stuff smells so strong. What is this? And when my dad got home, I was like, Dad, look what I found. What is this? And he told me, he goes, I stuffed those in my pocket so the deer don't smell me. And then later on, I figured out what it was. Like 10 years later, I was like, oh, that's what that was.
We plan on being there all day Saturday. Awesome. Have to run. Hope you have a great night. You too. That is on our want list. A dehydrator. I need a new. I mean, not a dehydrator, a freeze dryer. I need a new dehydrator.
We need to do some jerky soon.
Ours farted out on us, so I gotta get a new one. But I really want an Excalibur. They're kind of expensive, so I'm gonna have to go do some more Amazon blocks to get my extra stuff that I need. Hoping we'll have a bigger trailer by then. I hope so. We got 7 more months. So
honestly, if I found one that was pretty decent shape that needed a deck and was very affordable, I would probably look at picking it up right now. Shayla's gonna get on. Talk about trailer. She's gonna go over here and get on Marketplace, start looking.
No, they said YouTube channel Papa Prepper. I was looking it up.
I need to. I'm working on buying a pickup with a gooseneck.
We need a new trailer. I'm so tired of having small trailers.
I don't want to buy a big bumper. I mean, I wouldn't mind having a tandem axle bumper pull that was 16 foot, just big enough to haul my tractor a short distance if I needed to. But I need probably a close to 30-foot gooseneck, somewhere in that ballpark, and I need a truck to actually pull it too. So, well, I want to put a gooseneck hitch in my half ton for, light duty. Like if I just want to move my tractor, it's 5,000-6,000 pounds. It can do it easy. And I'd rather pull that off of a gooseneck than a tandem bumper pull anyways, whether it was a half ton or a 1 ton. But we're looking at maybe having to move skid steers and stuff, so we need a real trailer.
It would be nice to be able to move our tractor and
it'd be nice
and the mower, or
be nice to be able to move
at least one implement,
like all implements that I might need with my tractor if I'm going to move it.
Yeah.
And just with the loader and the tractor itself, it really doesn't even fit on a 16 to 18 foot trailer.
Really, it would just be nice to have one for the tractor, period. Because we've had times where friends have needed a tractor, or could have used some help, and we can't take it more than a couple miles down the road. So, But Johnny said, I picked up a dozer. I picked our dozer up today, so I'm going to start doing a bunch of stuff out where the cattle are next week, and then bringing it up to our 90 North to start clearing it. That's awesome. Yes, Cousin Debbie thought it was hilarious using Weaver's killer. Almost had a bobcat this weekend, but traps were set elsewhere. Darn it. I have a trapping video. I'm going to name it the most boring trapping video ever. And I'm going to post it.
It's not boring. We caught a dog.
Hey, you're telling them.
We didn't catch any target species.
No.
And really surprisingly to me, my entire life, I just set a trap, and sure enough, it's going to have a possum within 2 days.
Thank you for sharing everybody's links.
But there's a bunch of, where we set them at, there's a bunch of dogs, just tons of dogs. And I actually had trail cameras probably a mile apart and had the same dogs on camera on both of them. So it just keeps the wildlife kind of ran out of the general area.
Found on road dead. He was looking at Fords, but hopefully we're looking at a Dodge.
Yeah, I gotta get a truck bought soon, and
we'd like to get our truck fixed, but we kind of also want a 4-door. But whatever we can do.
I bought our 94 with a 6.5 Detroit diesel in it when I should not have bought that thing when I did, because there was a vehicle shortage and the microchip shortage and all that. So vehicle prices were double, and I seen what other ones like it were selling for, and I bought it.
Thought it was a great deal.
It was a good deal in the market.
It was.
It was a good deal in that market. Bought it, but then ended up having head gasket issues a few thousand miles in, and kind of with the age of it and everything, it's beyond. It really just needs a complete overhaul, which no shops are willing to do. They all want to touch new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, I've talked to a dozen shops or more that were diesel shops. It's just nothing anybody wants
Paul
to.
Case recommended too. They won't
That was
do
machine
it.
shop. They don't even want to touch it.
Yeah.
But the point being, I'm in it more than I can sell it for now. So either I need to spend $9,000 and buy probably a crate motor that's ready to drop in it, or I need to jerk that motor out, sell it for a core to somebody wanting to rebuild one for maybe $1,000, and then I need to put like a 6-liter LS in it, or which would be cheaper. I could get one for $1,000 and probably for $3 or $4,000 I could have it running like a top. So I may make it a gas truck when time is available, or I may just bite the bullet and say, well, I own it. So when I have available funds, I may just put a new diesel in it.
It still runs. I mean, it still
I
runs
can still
and
drive
drives
it.
to town. So it's a great emergency backup. I like
I hate,
having
and that's
it there.
that's one reason I haven't done any. I've thought about pulling the engine out and tearing it down, and maybe looking at getting the machining done and then reassembling it and rebuilding it myself. But one reason I haven't done that is I don't want to have the truck useless, and I can haul hay in an emergency with it. I can go
to the
get
emergency
feed.
room if we need to. Go get feed, yeah.
So
Johnny said, speaking of trailers, I found a triple axle gooseneck trailer for $2,000. It has worked great and has brakes. Awesome. There's some good deals if you wait. If you are not, and if you can.
This is what I would say. A bumper pull that could pull something like a skid steer always has a higher resale value than goosenecks for some reason. And I guess it's because a lot of people that just run out and buy a trailer can't pull the gooseneck, but their truck can pull a bumper. So I've seen some goosenecks sell reasonable at auctions.
Yeah. And there's some on Facebook. It's just a matter of timing and are we able to get there whenever
there was one that needed a deck. I don't know about brakes. I don't know about wheel bearings and everything else, but it appeared to be. Wasn't it green?
There was one here in Stroud.
It might have been
$350, and then there was another one.
That was not. That was a fifth wheel converted camper frame. Not suitable for hauling skid steers for sure. But there was a green one, and it kind of made me think of Sunbelt, like maybe it was an old Sunbelt rental trailer or something. But it needed a deck, and it was like $1,500, and I should have just went and bought it if the axles and everything seemed to be good on it. If it had decent rubber that could at least get me by till I started actually hauling with it. I should have probably went and bought that, maybe reached out to Paul Case and see if he would mill me a deck for it or something. But
see, Jack left. Steven said bring it to Arkansas. He'll help rebuild it. I'm a little different and pull the heavy stuff with our 09 Ram 2500 with the 6.7, and for bumping around, I use our Ram 3500 with the 5.9 Cummins. I'm working on a video from this weekend right now. I'm going to be doing that as soon as we get off here.
Yeah, we need to get some content up. Now, our shorts always do terrible, but every now and then I'll do one of those 3-minute shorts just poking around the cows, and it'll get like.
They've been doing a lot better than
the really short ones suck, but the 3-minute ones, like, what'd that one do? It was
44.
It said 1,000 views.
Oh, that was that one, yeah. Oh wow.
But those 3-minute ones seem to be kind of
got a dog as the cover. Everybody, Levi posted that one of the dog, and it got like 1,000 views immediately.
I didn't even change. I just went with whatever cover it put on there. But yeah, I think that Johnny was talking about using his 2,500 for pulling heavy stuff. Yeah, I think that I've pulled off the bumper with that 2001 Chevy half ton. I've pulled like 6,000 or 7,000 pounds. Now I didn't get crazy with it, and that's including the trailer too. So maybe 8,000 pounds. I didn't get crazy with it, but it pulled it. Now the biggest problem was the suspension was sagging. But I feel like if I beefed up the suspension and just didn't gun it out into busy intersections, I could probably pull 10 or 12,000 pounds. It just wouldn't be, you wouldn't be going anywhere in a hurry.
Mm-hmm.
And then stopping is the second biggest, or stopping's the biggest problem.
Yeah. Yep, we pulled a lot of crazy stuff with some not so qualified vehicles.
We used our Armada to pull
skid steer,
13,000 pound skid steer and trailer setup.
Yeah.
It actually pulled it really well.
Yeah. He drove it. He brought it to our house, and I took it back. And
we pulled one in ice with it too.
Oh my God! Yeah, that was.
We had to get one back during an ice storm. We rented a skid steer, and we had to deliver it back to the rental place in ice.
That was when I drove that one back, wasn't it?
No,
that was too.
You drove the one back when we lived in Hinton.
Yeah.
This one was here.
I pulled a few. It's kind of sketchy sometimes. It is Gen A. It took a bit to get it there. Lots of billet stuff in that transmission. On this, oops. Johnny, your 2009 Ram 2500 is a good truck.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if I keep my half ton for many more years like I plan to, whenever I do have to do transmission work, I'm going to go to Monster Transmission and buy the beefed up transmission. And I'll never pretend like it's really made for pulling, but I just, in an emergency, if I had to go pick up 6,000 or 7,000 pounds of hay with it, I want to be able to say I can do it. Mm-hmm. If you got to do what you got to do. But ultimately, that's why I'd like to get that 3/4 ton with the 6.0 in it, because 6.0 has a little more.
Now Mom shows up. She's been on the phone with Vanessa and Caleb instead. Mm-hmm. I know.
Yeah.
Just teasing. Tell them I said hi.
That's one thing about it. If I put the money into that 94, I probably ought to just do the diesel, because it is basically a classic. So why ruin it and swap it?
She said she was working.
Maybe I'll get my money back out of it one day when it becomes a real classic.
Yeah, probably. I don't want to get rid of it because it's before all them computers.
It's in such good shape too. Overall, the truck is just.
Why don't you put a tarp on it?
I need to wax it.
The truck's in good shape. The bed, the nap-hide bed, we should sell it.
I've got a receipt for that bed back in '94. It was $5,000.
Too bad you did it.
I popped that right out.
Tell you later. Okay.
But
I'm curious. Where's Trey?
Yeah, what?
Does he have a live going on, or do we need to get off, or what?
I don't think so. I think he's been really busy lately with calving, and I'm gonna go look and see. But
y'all are crazy having calves out in this weather.
We
did our goats that way last year, and clearly it was a massive disaster. So we're just not going to do that anymore.
Yeah, we would like to have a bunch of, financially speaking, I would like to have a bunch of little 20-pound Billy kids running around right now, fixing to take them to the Ramadan market and sell them for $3.50 a pound. I'd like them to be 40 pounds by the time you take them in and do that, but probably won't ever breed goats for that time of year again. Justin said he's hopeful he doesn't have anything in the next few days. And that's also, Johnny's going to camp with his cows, because if they do have one, you may have to you may have to take it in the pickup with you. Which during that polar vortex a few years ago, people were posting all over the cattleman group. There was people with calves in their cab of their truck all over Facebook.
Yeah, and our friends over here, they've already had to chase calves down off ice. In that last storm, they've been pulling them out of the ponds. I mean, it's been nuts. I don't know what's going on with our llama. I was pretty sure that they bred, but she's not bagging up or anything. She has been sitting a little more by herself the last couple of days. So I thought maybe she's getting ready, but I grabbed her today and checked. She don't have any milk yet, so I don't know if she's even bred. She's got to be, but
she's got to be bred because if she wasn't, that male llama she'd be wanting to be bred, and he'd be chasing her around, and we have not seen him act like that in months and months and months and months.
She's got to be pregnant. She's got to be close, but
unless there was like he bred her, she didn't take, and then a month later he bred her, and we just didn't see it.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like maybe she's anyway. We keep an eye on her, but she has been a little more distance, but she's not bagging. So I'm like praying it doesn't happen randomly throughout this week,
Yeah, hopefully.
Had mine built in Bella Vista, Arkansas, and the shop 100% guaranteed transmission for 3 years, and has done it and working on year 4. Awesome. That's always good. Always comforting.
Yeah, sometimes it pays to go to a shop that really knows. Like some engines and transmissions get a bad rap because of the manufacturer having done something stupid, and a shop that really knows how to rebuild them and do it right. Sometimes it pays to spend the money and take it to the right place.
Yeah. Mom said their goat is about to have her baby any second. Ooh. Y'all better just lock her up in that shed. I'd just lock her in there.
Guaranteed to pull it at 26,000 pounds. That is crazy. If I get into this fence building deal and mulching, I've kind of calculated, not including the weight of the trailer, we're looking at about 16 to 18,000 pounds, depending on if we get all the attachments on the trailer or not with the skid steer. So it'll definitely be a chore, but
you always jump ahead. You never read on me.
Yeah, I did. I said guaranteed 26,000.
They said they've had 4 so far. Shouldn't have any more till March. Gotcha. How many are you expecting, Johnny? Roughly. Sand bass will be running in a few weeks. Absolutely. We're not real big sand bass fishermen, but we do catch them. I mean, we just don't. It's not one of our priorities. Teresa, that's right. He said the 68 RFE is a good transmission once it's bulletproofed.
Yeah, that's like the Ford 6.0s is they got a really bad rap because they put all the emissions on them, and all, like the first year they rolled out with all that emissions crap on it, and should have studded the engine to begin with, but they used head bolts, and then people had to go in and spend $5,000-$6,000 to do it right because the manufacturer didn't, and everybody, still to this day, I wouldn't go buy a 6.0 unless I knew the person who owned it and the track record on the truck and stuff and what had been done to it. I don't know that I'd want to go buy a 6.0, but once they're bulletproof, it's a super good engine, makes a lot of torque, a lot of horsepower.
John said he was listening to Travis Meyer on Facebook, and he said this storm was going to be like back in 2021. I hope not. It's not fun.
2021 was like 3 weeks long, though. This ain't going to be 3 weeks long. No, it's going to be 3 days of miserableness. But
unless they spray and it ends up dragging its feet. Johnny said 6 more. Woo-wee. That's exciting. We have 2. I'm pretty sure Blackjack is bred. She looked bred to me.
I think
She's just
I think I've got
nursing,
2.
so-
I need to get them preg checked just so I kind of know to expect from them or not. Because they were AI'd. If they had been exposed to a bull, I would fully expect them, which they have been since they were AI'd. But if they had been exposed to a bull, I would fully expect them to be bred, and just I wouldn't go get them preg checked. But because AI can be iffy, I kind of want to know like if they're bred and when they were bred.
Well, and we want to check the other girls too.
And I want to know, if they say bred and 3 months bred, then I know my bull is also breeding.
And I'm fairly positive that Annie or Hereford, I'm certain she was bred to the AI because she's huge, and her due date would be beginning of May, I believe. So I'm pretty sure that she's bred from the AI. Welcome, y'all. Have you hit the thumbs up button? Yes, please hit the thumbs up, guys. Thank you. We appreciate that. 6-0 does get a bad rap, but I hear they can be good with a little work. Yeah, my parents know all about that.
They bought 2 of them too.
Yep. But they got it there.
But who told them not to?
Are the kids excited for the snow? One of them is for sure. Our middle one, Rylan, he loves the snow. He spent all day outside trying to build a snowman the last time, but he likes it if it's actually going to snow deep enough for him to go play in it and not just a light dusting, because he doesn't like it because then he has to do chores. I mean, he has to do chores either way, but then it's just not fun and he has to do chores. I bought 2 of them new in 2006, 2 of the most expensive lessons I ever had. I sure hope this storm only lasts days instead of weeks. 2021 memory is like one of those 6-0s.
That's not a lie.
Oh, gosh. Poor mom and dad. Hey, Belt Loop.
Yeah, I think if I was to have bought one of those 6-0s new and had issues with it, I would have probably drove it back into the dealership through the front door. I would have been mad, like people were blowing head gaskets like 10, 20,000 miles in, and just grief.
Y'all think he's joking too. When is it supposed to start snowing? I think 6 o'clock in the morning, but that's gonna be hours off because they're always off. I'm supposed to do a block in the morning. I gotta watch.
Cancel it, and then whenever they pay more money, take it back.
Yeah, you told me they checked out Sunday and they didn't pay more, so.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, Gary with Belt Loop 29.
Yeah.
Our resident officer.
1 in the morning. That means it's coming south then. Last time it was heading north. That was so weird. About 8. Well, if it's going to your place at 8, then it'll probably hit us about 10. Last time I looked this morning, it was at 6, but it's cold here, but I don't think we'll get snow. Well, he's not far from Mom and Dad. They're just starting at 1. 6 hours later, 7 hours later. They probably hit here. I don't know.
I don't know. I hope it.
Let me look. Now I'm curious.
I don't know what I hope. I hope it goes away soon. I hope Friday we get a big, beautiful sun, and I hope it melts it. And then I hope Saturday it just finishes it off and vaporizes it, melts it all into the ground.
Let's see.
I'll probably be needing to put hay out, and it'll be soggy.
It's coming to the west, so you guys will get it first. Oh.
Where are you from again, Gary? Snow is rare.
Why? What did he say? Oh.
He said snow is rare, so I was curious where he was from again.
Texas. I only saw snow twice in my whole life. Yes, Jenny, it's going to be snowing.
Mississippi.
It's starting to snow early in the morning. Sometime. I'm looking right now.
Yeah, Johnny, I was looking at the weather. It's going to be in the 60s next week, so
Ours is showing.
And then rain starts soon, so it's going to be
6
muddy
it's showing
over the next several weeks,
5,
probably.
6 a.m., 7 a.m. It's at 48%. By 9 a.m., it's 71%. Let's see. It says 0.2 inches. Huh. I don't know if I'm going to do that block or not.
Yeah.
Um.
Hopefully we get about half the snow they're calling for.
Yeah, we thought that last time. I had different people tell me different things, and our mailman was like, it's only going to be about an inch or 2.
8 inches?
Yeah, it went on record.
Wasn't a record.
Not record snowfall, but for that time of year or whatever it was.
For the entire state. I think it was like a record for averages across the state.
Yeah.
I mean, it snowed.
It wasn't a record snow. The record snow
growing
was in
up,
2011.
it snowed 2 foot whenever I was growing up. So
the year we met, it snowed crazy. They don't really know me. I'm Mississippi. Could be a bad mud season after this week. Yes, it is. Hopefully it'll dry up quick though, because it'll oh, your friend was Devil Dog. I know who that is. Mississippi, where Elvis grew up. Then spring comes. Yes, Levi, our oldest, just completely out of the blue. We weren't talking about gardening. I hadn't done nothing. I mean, it was just literally out of the blue. I'm in bed and he sends me a message wanting a seed starting kit. And I'm going, okay. Of course I got to jump on that. He's excited to do something. So I was pretty pumped up about that. So I ordered it for him. And he started his seeds tonight.
I need to do some. I'm going to do some research after this. I want to grow tobacco this year. I don't know why.
You probably should look it up on your phone so you don't forget.
I want to grow tobacco, and tobacco has a lot of uses actually. Nicotine isn't all bad. It's commercial tobacco products are bad. They put a bunch of junk in them, but nicotine can have all kinds of properties like anti-parasitic and stuff like that. So it would be a very good commodity if crap hit the fan. If you had tobacco, it'd be a really good trading commodity.
Gary said he's from Tupelo. That's funny. We have a Tupelo, Oklahoma too.
Much smaller than Tupelo, Mississippi.
Yeah, I don't even know where Tupelo, Mississippi is. Elvis grew up in Tupelo on a shotgun. Oh, now I feel really dumb. That's where Elvis grew up. Shotgun built house with his parents, Gladys Vernon. Only time I ever worry about being a mod is when people start slowing down the chat. Slow mode doesn't slow down mods. Devil Dog and Gary are spirit brothers. We had record snow in 1977, over 4 foot. I remember being out of school for it. Same. That would be cool. I started my tomatoes and peppers this weekend also. I started my tomatoes about 2 weeks ago, and I started my peppers last week. So my tomatoes are coming up. Peppers will take a little bit longer. They're on the warming mat though. Not from Tupelo. That's where Elvis grew up. Yeah, I didn't know that. My parents have been to his mansion in Tennessee, but Tobacco.
Yeah. Tobacco seeds are pretty affordable.
Lawrence, Mississippi, Rankin County, cross-pollinate. Oh, what did I read?
What?
I read this. I was in the middle of reading that comment, and the next one popped up, so I just read both of them. I do wonder if tobacco and tomatoes would cross-pollinate.
They're both nightshades, but they're very different looking plants. Like completely different. But, potato.
Silverleaf is a nightshade.
Potatoes are nightshades.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't think it would because as far as I know, we've had silverleaf nightshade and horse nettle, which are probably way more similar to a tomato plant. And I've never encountered a cross pollination that I know of.
This is a good comment. Being out of school for snow was rare when I was a kid. It took more than 12 inches of ice to cancel school. That is driving me nuts. The boys don't go to school.
In Oklahoma, they will cancel school because it's too cold.
Yeah. So.
Or they'll lock kids inside for recess.
The kids are homeschooled, but we do go to a co-op. It's once a month. One time a month. And they cancel because the roads were going to be bad. And then it was last Thursday and it ended up being a beautiful day for winter. Nice and sunny. The roads were as clear as could be. I don't know. And now it's rescheduled for this Thursday and people are already talking about the weather. And I'm just like, you guys signed up for this. You got to show up. Leave your house early. That's one thing that drives me insane.
Some kind of disease that comes from tobacco.
People get so.
I'll have to do a little research on that before I grow it. Maybe I'd grow it in a totally different place than around the tomato plants. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
tobacco has been trash talked. I feel the info on it is low. Yeah, curing has me a little intimidated.
Curing the tobacco or curing the meats that we're talking about?
The tobacco. You just hang it, right? What? I don't know. I don't know anything about that. Some kind of disease that comes from tobacco. Hornworms like them both.
Yeah, Shayla, one time we had a big old hornworm in the garden. She was like, "Don't kill it. It's so cute."
No, I didn't tell you nothing. I thought it was cool. I'm over there taking pictures. I was like, this thing's awesome. I found out it was like a plant eater. Kill all my tomatoes. I want to try to grow rainbow eucalyptus trees if I can find the seeds. They're not zoned for our area, but I want to try. Yeah, okay, I found the most amazing discovery the other day, last couple days, okay? I've been on Whole30. I'm not going to get into it. You can look it up. Basically, I can only have meat, fruit, and veggies. That's basically it. You cut everything else out so you can find your inflammation and allergy problems. So, anyway, I can have dates, medjool dates. And I was eating one of those, and I love nuts, and I can have tree nuts as well. Not legumes, but tree nuts. So I threw a handful of pecans in my mouth with those medjool dates. It is like pecan pie in your mouth. It is so good, especially when you haven't had sugar for a couple of weeks. But so I started looking into growing dates, and it actually comes from the Morocco palm tree. And they don't grow here in Oklahoma, but I thought about trying it anyway because those things are delicious.
This is a really long story to explain.
Well, you gotta know about. She said she's gonna try something, and I want to tell her I'm gonna try something too. I just need a greenhouse, so that's in demand.
Did you even get? I interrupted you. Finish what you were saying about them.
I did. I said I was gonna grow medjool dates from a palm tree.
But did you explain why you want the dates? I think.
Yeah, you were zoned out all that.
Oh, she told you it tastes like pecan pie?
Yeah.
Oh. It was
so good, man.
She was talking so fast, I thought she was yelling at me. What is happening?
What are you doing? You always jack everything up.
So Johnny asked if I water out of tanks or ponds, and both our place here at the house and where the cows are at, there's ponds. So we water out of ponds for the cows and goats. But we do, like, we have a few pigs pinned up right now, and we are using barrels with the pig water nipple thingies. So that's going to be a challenge during the ice. See, I don't think it's going to be cold long enough to worry about breaking ponds, but maybe once. The last cold snap, I didn't break any. I didn't break any ice at all. Every time I went to break it, it was slushy enough around the banks, and the cows would just step on it. But I guess my ground temperature was warm enough that it was kind of keeping me in there without having to do that.
Interesting. They said yes, curing the leaves. Look
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, that maybe I'll have to build.
That's why I thought you wanted the smoke shack. That's what you
Well,
kept telling Dad.
I'm not going to put tobacco in my meat smoke shack, but I would need another shack for the tobacco leaves. But I could do as much as I'll grow up. If I get a couple healthy plants, I think that'd be fine.
They are oh so delicious. It's my favorite thing.
Dates
they're just expensive.
Look up. So I was checking out the seed. I broke one in half and was looking at it, and I'm weird. I Googled, what are the benefits of date seeds, and there's like a million health benefits to grinding up. You bake the seed and then you grind it up into powder, and there's like a ton of benefits to it.
That's what you do with papaya seeds.
I don't know that it does that, but maybe you got to ask specifically about that because
pumpkin seeds.
But it's known for a bunch of benefits.
It does. It comes from Morocco, Israel, Iraq, over there in that area, that region. That's where they're mostly grown.
They're a palm. They're actually a palm tree.
They grow in zones 9 through 11. Yeah, it's a Morocco palm tree. Man, they're good. I would have never thought that.
A homestead in Indiana. Oh.
Where you at? So yummy. Yeah, no sugar, no corn syrup. You cannot go wrong. You just blend all that up.
It's one of the sweetest things known to man, to me, in my opinion, out of things I've eaten.
I can only eat like 1-2 tops, but they have magnesium and potassium. Maybe that's why I'm like craving them so much. I'm low on potassium, and
you need to save the seeds. And
I have been. I'm gonna grow them some with guns. I'm gonna build a greenhouse just for this one palm tree.
Hey, start one, and Wendy with Hardknack will probably figure out how to grow it. She grows lemons in her greenhouse.
Oh shoot! She gave me her number, and I never texted her. Oops. Wendy, if you're in here, I'm sorry. I'll get back to you. Went to Homestead, Indiana that grew bananas. Well, see, it's possible.
I think bananas are a superfood too.
I'm
carnivore, primarily carnivore. I've been eating a lot of bananas. Haven't eaten banana in a long time, but they're one of my favorite foods.
Shoot, I couldn't even get through Whole30 without bananas. No way.
That's why I won't be a permanent carnivore. I'm not going to be a carnivore. You can only eat carnivore and that's the only way to eat kind of person, because I'm sorry, there's lots of good foods on this planet that have benefits. I just, I think I'll be a whole foods kind of person if I'm trying to watch what I eat.
In the peanut butter cabinet, grab that
and
little
then
white. It looks like an ice cream tub.
At the same time be very mindful of the amount of carbs I eat. I think that the best way to eat is to eat in a way that you're ketogenic, but whole foods.
Did you get the dates Vanessa was talking about? No. I didn't know she was talking about dates. They're medjool dates. Hudson's bringing me the container. I have a can in Fort Wayne, Indiana. My grandma was born and raised in Fort Wayne. Very cool. We go back there from time to time for a visit. Thanks for dropping my link. Appreciate it. Yes, she's doing awesome. Thank you so much, Jenna, for helping us out there. These are what I bought. California grown dates.
Probably grown on Gavin Newsom's ranch that he takes all the water that they're supposed to be fighting fires with.
Where does it say it? It's supposed to say they're medjool dates. I don't know. They do have pits, but I think you can get them. I just looked up. You can get them through Azure, and Azure Standard, and I'm gonna order some so I can get more than just a couple in a jar.
Got Kevin in the house. You been doing any fishing, Kevin?
Hey, Kevin. Bananas get them more green than yellow. The more green, the more potassium. Yep. I'm trying to eat them that way.
How's that
go back
possible?
and forth.
Where's the potassium go? Why would they not have potassium?
I think it's because Like the
Goes to
fermenting-
maybe it goes to the peel.
I can't remember. I read about it a long time ago. Gross Michael bananas were the most popular till Z's came out and wiped out most of them. Now it's Cavendish. Broke my ankle Friday
Broke
night.
his ankle.
Oh,
What are you doing? I'm accident prone anymore.
Janae said, I have recently learned keto whole foods. I have a coach. Man, it is tough. I've been on this for 17 days now, and I don't know. I still have some inflammation. I'm supposed to do it for 30 days and then reincorporate. But I would tell you what, I recommend everybody do this the whole 30
honestly,
just one time.
If you could do, I promise this is universal across the board for everybody. You got to cut out the grain, the excess grain. Like you don't need to eat a sandwich with bread every day. And when you do, eat a good bread. Get rid of these ones that's got aluminum and titanium dioxide and all these things in them. And you can get old style grains that are just different. They're not GMO'd, and the gluten in them is different, and the proteins and everything. Or you could go maybe like sorghum flour. I really want, when Shayla starts making a sourdough again, I want her to try it with sorghum, just see how it turns out. It's kind of like a really fine cornmeal almost, but I'm really interested to see how it turns out if she were to, or Kevin said rye.
Mm-hmm.
Rye is definitely
rye.
better for you than wheat.
I have rye, sorghum.
Well, she did make rye sourdough.
No, I never
thought you
have.
did.
I've been feeding my starter with rye, but I don't think I ever made it.
I thought you did.
Maybe I did.
You did once.
Oh yeah, because it came out really dark.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The crust on it was like black.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, hopefully the ankle heals up well and you're back to full function on it.
They didn't have my info at the orthopedic clinic today, so I had to cancel the appointment. So I'm just, oh my gosh, that's annoying. Thanks for wasting my time.
What?
He went to the doctor and they didn't have his info, so he's just in a splint. The orthopedic clinic.
What?
I'd be so mad.
That's insane.
Hopefully you didn't have to drive very far. Ours is, we go to the dentist an hour away, and a lot of our appointments are at least 40 minutes to an hour away. I just had a doctor punch a few holes in my finger. Was infected. Ooh. Yeah. I had that done.
Peroxide and iodine are your two best friends when you get even a minor scratch. You never know what a minor scratch could turn into. Like whenever I cut my hand open, it's still healing right there a little bit at the deepest spot. But first thing I did was pack it full of iodine, which burned like crazy. Felt like I was putting iodine on my bones. But I was sharpening on a whetstone that is probably extremely filthy. I've filleted fish and sharpened. I've skinned animals and sharpened, and it doesn't exactly get cleaned and it's porous. So I was like, I should probably throw some iodine in this.
And then he goes to the doctor and tells him it was just a kitchen knife. I was like, you liar.
Yeah.
And then you slipped up, said it was a fillet knife. I'm about to butcher a pig. I'm like, oh my God, shut up.
I didn't want their tetanus shot.
Oh, you're killing me, man.
I know the symptoms of tetanus, and I'll go get treated if I feel like I'm getting. Don't just accept things. Don't accept just because you get a cut and you go get it stitched up. Don't take it just because they want to give it to you. Just look up the symptoms and make sure that if you start presenting with those said symptoms, that you immediately go get treated.
We are not doctors.
You go to a medical professional immediately and get treated, and you should be okay. Just like you should be okay most times when you're driving down the road. But sometimes things don't go as planned. Sometimes you get in a crash. Sometimes sometimes you get an infection.
Eat what you raise what you raise. Raise what you eat. Mix it up, lettuce and leaves and whole ingredients, non-GMO coconut rye, Ezekiel bread comes in the freezer section. It's raw from Bible ingredients. Yes, I have.
What? They got that stuff in the store?
What?
She said Ezekiel bread comes in the
Yes.
freezer section.
You've bought it.
Oh, I have not.
Dakota. You've bought it. I for sure have bought it. We have had it in our house. He is so bougie.
I would like to grow some of those old style
It's
grains,
$5.
but we're kind of in the wrong zone. Those bread wheats, they're a springtime variety of wheat. You plant them like now, and then by the time they mature, it's early summer. But our summers are so violent that I've read up on it. You really got to go north of at least 600 to 800 miles before you can really start getting into a zone that's good for it.
I had a doctor poke my finger several times with a scalpel yesterday. Fingers infected, and so they were draining it. Oh gosh, yeah. I had MRSA right here. It got very, very infected. It was really bad. And I had to have surgery here, and then they drained it down here when I was 15. That was some of the worst pain I've ever had in my life. And I remember before they found out that it was MRSA, I went and had a shot, and they numbed it first. That was the worst idea on the planet, to numb an infected area. And then they lanced it to drain it, but it didn't really drain much. Not at that time, but then I almost died and had to go to the emergency room for the rest of it. So sorry, speedy recovery. Your hand, good, no shots. Yep.
Yeah, I also didn't take their numbing shots either because I hate those numbing shots. They hurt. It was better to deal with them stitching it up without.
Should have videoed you getting stitched up.
The last stitch hurt really bad.
Why didn't I think of that? I should have at least video. I didn't have to video her doing it. I should have videoed your reaction.
Yeah, so Gary said,
Christmas night. I don't play one on TV. What zone are y'all in? We're in 7B. I don't know why, but this conversation sounds familiar. Reminds me I have to take my antibiotics. Ooh, I need to go fill those antibiotics. Dang it. They numbed my finger, but it didn't really numb. Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's my deal is like, they thought I was crazy because I didn't want the lidocaine shots. But I'm like, first of all, those shots hurt. You might as well just stick me with the needle, get the stitches in there, get it over with. Like, you're going to stick me 5 or 6 times with the shot, and then you're going to turn around and stick me 5 or 6 times with a needle. And then second of all, my experience has been that it doesn't really numb anything. It still hurts. I'm like, well, what was this?
Yeah.
It'll numb your face if they stick them in your gums. But it's like when they drill on your teeth, I can still feel them drilling on my teeth, but I can't feel the outside of my face.
It just cuts the nerves off for pain, not pressure. I mean, you still don't feel the pressure. Yeah, Dakota. Ezekiel bread in the freezer section. It's been we have bought some. He just don't remember. It was years ago, a long time ago, but we have bought it. Oh, that sounds so good with hot soup and Kerrygold. This is torture. I can't have any grain right now. Gary, how's your finger doing since you went to the clinic? I smashed the fire out of my finger like over a month ago. My fingernail fell off.
Slammed her finger in the goat shed door thing.
Yeah, my finger's actually still numb from that.
And then she acted like she didn't even do it.
I don't know why. I don't know how I hit every single winter. I've hit my finger on this stupid thing. It's a homemade. It's cut out with a welding torch. It's a tank battery. The door's cut out with a torch, and then they have a
sucker rod.
Yeah, sucker rod
latch.
Yeah, and you have to and it doesn't close right. It's not flush. I mean, you gotta put all your weight into it and bounce, and then slam it down at the same time to get the door to shut. And so I hit my finger. turned black and it's still numb. That was over a month ago. It's just barely coming back. So annoying. Feeling a lot better. Thanks for asking. Just to release the pressure out. Yeah, I had to take that knife and I stuck it right into my nail because all that blood was in there and it was so swollen. That felt amazing. Kept me awake Saturday night, but slept fine last night. It's good. What did you do to your finger?
You know what some of the most annoying
All those
infections I've had is like a cuticle infection just from cold weather and your cuticle getting kind of frayed up and then just sticking your hands in your pockets and stuff, like just rephrase it and then it gets all red and swelled up and infected.
I did that today. The stupid nail's trying to grow back and it was catching on everything. It really terrible.
But I've had some infected cuticles that were very painful before.
Oh yeah. Talking to the one who's got ingrown toenails. I had them permanently fixed, but I still have one that comes back. But I had them bad, thanks to my daddy. But it hurts worse in the cold winter. Seems like everything hurts more. Yeah, it didn't even hurt that bad when I done it. Like I didn't realize it hurt, but I didn't realize how bad it was till I came inside and that's a pain in the butt. And I'm sure Gary's was bad too. I tried to do the same thing with fingernail clippers, but I guess it didn't go deep enough. Yeah, I took a needle. People said to heat it up and then go through the nail bed. I don't know where yours was or what you did exactly, but I tried to do that. I couldn't do it. I was afraid I was going to stab too hard into it, so I just went through the side of my nail bed. Went to the doctor and then to work. I was off on Saturday. I kept the whole time. I'm like, I was being a baby. I'm telling myself, okay, people used to chop their hands off and save their lives. People used to do this crazy stuff without any payment.
For what?
No, it wasn't that bad, but I wanted to stab into my finger because I felt so much pressure around my finger. I kept thinking if I could just relieve it, but I couldn't. I was wussed out on getting that deep enough to try to relieve anything. Went to the doctor and then went to work. I was off Saturday though. Hiking with Jackie Boy. Do you know who that is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, welcome in. Hiking
what
with
happens is
Jackie
you ripped
Boy.
off a part of a nail that had split and it became infected. Yep.
Yeah.
See, that's kind of stuff that which you need to go get my antibiotics filled for my hand. That's why you should always, even if you don't want to take antibiotics, you should always take the prescription and have them available because the second that something seems like it is not going the way it should, if you had something from a previous prescription around, maybe you could nip it in the butt in an emergency.
Yep.
Which one time I was just trimming a deer stand and I got I just nicked the top of my finger, but where the skin was really shallow and right on top of a joint. And I don't know what the scientific
your tendon
term is, but like in your joint, you've got fluid.
Oh yeah.
You got fluid in that joint. And immediately that night in my sleep, I just woke up in the middle of the night and I knew exactly what it was. I was like, that fluid inside my joint had got infected from something. So I had this immense pressure between my knuckle and it was like right on that tendon. The tendon was really sore. The entire knuckle was sore. And I went in and, luckily modern, conveniences, you can just go to a clinic and get an antibiotic and 9 times out of 10 it handles things, and it did. But I was like, that's one of those things where, you ignore it for another day and you think you'll be fine, and then your finger's getting whacked off. Mm-hmm. So those little tiny cuts are the ones that'll get you.
Yeah.
The big ones you pay attention to, you go, oh, I got this huge cut, I better clean it. And then I better bandage that and keep manure and bad things out of it. Simple. You think, okay, that's easy. Let's this is a very important cut. This could get bad. That's those little ones. You don't think about it for a couple of days, and next thing you know, you're in a bad way.
you're almost dead and end up in the ICU in the emergency room from a scratch off a screw. That was all it was, literally. It's ridiculous. Don't do that. Be careful. 1,000 years ago, it would have caused your death probably. Exactly.
Maybe you might just have to go ahead and sacrifice that limb and take it off.
Chop it off. Woo.
I mean, if you got that little nick and it started getting red and the red started going back towards your hand, you would have been like, you would have known. Back then, you would have just known. It's got to go. It's got to go. It's going to.
How many lives have I used up already? 3?
You'd literally have to say, that's gonna take my life, or I'm gonna have to take my finger. One or the other. And then you might have to have somebody else do it. Here, take it off.
I know, that's what I was saying. I couldn't stab myself, and I kept trying to tell myself that, okay, people used to do this, take their fingers off and stuff. Like, worked with wastewater, and then he cut you had, got a big chance.
I've done some scales, some balances, some laboratory balances and stuff. Actually, I've done even truck scales at wastewater plants.
Ugh, nasty. That is gross.
And a lot of people don't know this, but their food is being grown with human waste.
Mm-hmm.
They take the solid waste from a lot of these places, and they grow soybeans and corn and wheat. And
well, that's how Doug and Stacy grow all their
It's called Soylent Green.
Ew. That's nasty.
And it's also
human manure.
and it's also if you're into smoking the herb and marijuana, it's also one of their most sought after fertilizers for it. There's a we call it the turd farm, where we do this truck scale and they mulch it down with tree brush and stuff. They mulch up the tree brush and mix it in there and let it cook until it's safe, and then the pot farms come get it by the dump trucks. So people are smoking their wacky tobacco. They don't know, but they're smoking human turds.
Well, I mean, we use manure from animals and everything else. I guess it's mostly herbivores, but I'll tell you what, the dog yard over here where the dogs are in, that is our best grass. Dad just said they are shipping 15 tons of eggs to America from Turkey. Oh my Lord. How stupid. Somebody stole 100,000 eggs. I don't know where that was at, if that was an
I don't even know what you would do with them. What are you going to do? Go sell them by the flat out there on the corner? You know, it's like, I got 14 pallets of eggs. Let me
get your eggs. $50 an egg.
Probably took them to all the little auctions.
God almighty. Has to be pasteurized. Antibiotics are always good.
Yeah, the manure is pasteurized naturally. You know, they mix it with the tree limbs and stuff, and then it cooks it down. Personally, Doug and Stacy can grow stuff with human waste all they want. I personally don't think it's a good idea.
Urine's really good, actually, though. It's high in
nitrates.
Yeah.
But it may grow something really well, but I don't think it's a good practice.
I don't know. I can't really say much on camera because of the whole policy crap, but the protocol, if you got the thingamajigger that was on that website that I read, she was saying to drink your own urine. I'm like, how bad would I want that out of my body if I had to go do that? If I had to, I didn't, but I just thought that was kind of wild. Maybe open a bakery. Properly composted sludge is a great fertilizer, but it's supposed to be for human consumption. It's not supposed to be for human consumption. You could egg a lot of houses if you're a teenager.
Well, Jackie, they spread it on crop fields and pastures that cattle eat off of. Now, part of that is like if you're going to graze cattle, they tell you not to do it for like 2 or 3 years. But here's the biggest problem with the human sludge stuff is it's not really it's not necessarily the human waste that is from the big waste plants. It's really bad. What it is it's all the chemicals people put in the sewer system. People will, instead of disposing of chemicals properly, they'll just go dump them down a storm drain in their toilet and their sink. Household cleaners are you got to imagine an entire municipality, how many household cleaners from 409 to Pine Sol to whatever, there's 600 brands in just the Dollar General, you got to imagine what kind of concoctions of chemicals and what kind of chemistry that even creates. And you're mixing billions of chemicals, you don't even know what you're getting. And then all that stuff is in that human sludge. And then they go spread it on pastures and stuff. And then you end up with these forever chemicals in your soil that you will never get rid of.
Often ponder all and goes and absorbs back into the food chain. Yeah. Who knows? You'll never catch me doing that. Yeah, I'm good on that too. But I've heard people doing it online anyhow.
Why do they only have 4?
Scary. Never known anybody in person to do it.
Maybe if I was really trying to grow a
He
garden.
must do it. Am I missing something?
If I was really if my garden just absolutely depended on it, my life depended on my garden producing, and I needed nitrogen and I needed fertilizer, that's a different story.
Yeah.
But personally, as of right now, I got a llama that leaves 20-pound piles of manure all over the pasture. Yeah. And it's cold fertilizer. I can go make a fertilizer tea out of that, which actually we probably should get a barrel and start making some tea.
We keep saying we're going to do that. Yeah,
we could clean out the goat shed.
Let's do it this weekend because it'll be warm. And I need to get that thing out.
We could put a valve.
I got to start digging dirt out anyway.
We'll just scoop it out.
Anyway.
We would put a valve, but it'd plug up.
Vermicompost or that bunny honey. Oh, yeah. It's good stuff right there. Pharmaceuticals, metals, and any organic product a wastewater plant won't treat. Then I would turn to some commercially available.
What is it?
Worm castings.
Oh.
That was what I was raising worms for vermicomposting, but I ended up losing them all to the heat a couple years ago. I need to start again. I have mealworms right now. I had a mouse in the freaking well house and it ate most of my mealworms, but I'm gonna have to restart my colony up.
Wait, ate the mealworms?
Yeah, it ate the mealworms. I have a good bunch left to restart, but that was annoying. Classic ways, less ingredients need natural. Try to do 5 to 10 ingredients or less whole foods. Yeah, I just found this new product line called Primal. I got their ketchup and mayonnaise. It's very expensive. I'm not gonna lie to you. Their mayonnaise is $8.
I want to try making mayonnaise out of tallow.
We should be making. Hey,
I want to try to make mayonnaise out of tallow. I think it would have. I think it would have a good flavor. I love tallow.
Yeah, we should be making all our own, but in a pinch we buy stuff.
I really want to get into raising. We wanted to get into a Wassy sheep, fat tail sheep, because lamb fat is so good for you, and they grow this big mass of fat on their tail. And honestly, I would, depending on how this kidding season goes, I might think about getting rid of a bunch of our goats and then getting into some Wassy sheep. Hudson, stop. What are you doing?
He's trying to fix it. I ain't scared of some folks. Sorry, my family tends to use $5 words. They kind of stick with me. I'm reading it fine. Grandma loves her babies all of them. Grandma said hi.
What?
Grandma said hi.
Hi, Grandma.
He said hi. I don't know if you heard him.
But some lamb tallow. I guess lamb would be considered tallow.
Yeah, it is.
Some lamb tallow, mayonnaise. Woo, that'd be a superfood, honestly.
Oh. Well, it's 10 o'clock. I'm about to fall asleep. I've been up since 4:40. And I need to get some stuff done real quick before bed. Y'all remember I won a nice tumbler cup. I gifted it to Jack. He has his daily Bible and coffee in the morning. Oh, that's awesome.
Well-
Well, get back to growing in the garden. Yeah, you should. You still got time to start all your seeds.
You got anything sprouting yet?
Yeah, my tomatoes are sprouting. I already said that. You just zone out when I talk. You're so mean.
She talks too much.
I talk too much? You're usually the one blabbing over these lives. Says the one on the phone. How many times have you been on the phone today? What did I do? I was out stacking hay, taking care of the animals, and I call this fool to see where he's at. He's in the house. All the boys are sitting in the house while I'm out there busting my butt in the wind. And then you went to town and Huxton said you were outside not helping him and you were on the phone. So who talks most?
All right. Well, we appreciate you guys coming in here.
Yes, thank you guys so much. We enjoyed it. Conversation was very fluid this evening. Kept going and going.
Yeah, but Gary has a good point there. He's going to go with starts this year, which we'll probably end up using some starts, depending on how well it goes. But a lot of people get caught up in saying you have to grow your own everything from the seed, and that's the only way to do it. But here's the deal: is gardening, it can be very challenging at times, and it is better to be gardening and learning that plant and the issues that come with it and refining your skills, rather you have to start with starts or you start your own seed.
The seeds do take a lot of time, and I got good at growing from seed, so I don't have a problem with it, and I'm home, but I have screwed up, I got my seeds going.
The hardening of the plants is the hard part.
Oh, I got that done. Well, yeah, that does take time. I was so mad because I had all my seeds going. I was doing a really good job, and we ended up redoing the motor. I was helping him change out the heads on the truck that we were talking about earlier, and I didn't get to harden my plants off. I didn't get to finish hardening them off, and I didn't get to use them. So we went with some. Actually, I didn't even garden that year, which I was glad because that was a really hot year. But it's definitely time consuming. I enjoy doing that part. I enjoy learning it and the curve of things. So. But,
all right. Well,
yeah.
It was a good conversation, and thanks for joining us. Good night.
See you guys. Thanks for jumping in. Appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the like button if you're still on here and you have it. Good night. Thank you guys. Yep. All right. We'll see y'all.